for another 20 bags of firewood. He's one of those guys that is gonna want to try to screw me over. I'm not complaining about selling wood. For me, there's no haggling on firewood. It's a story about firewood sales, right? If I don't want to do something, you're gonna have to pay for me to do it. So he's like, well, can I get a discount because I'm buying in bulk? And I'm like, no. And the mystery owner has yet to claim it, has yet to come pick it up. Firewood sales have been like super bad. I had them delivered, and I'll tell you a story about that. And welcome back, Fire Addicts, to another episode of Travis Sells Firewoods. And today we got a bulk order of firewood bags. Let's do it. So yeah, like I just said, I had an order for 20 bags of firewood, and I need to make some bags. So I had 20 bags of firewood, and I sold them. I had them delivered, and I'll tell you a story about that as I am making this other order. So on the docket here, on the menu of wood today, folks, we have on the far, your right, my left, we have cottonwood. Next to that, we have alder. Next to that, we have noble fir. And next to that, we have Douglas fir. And I think we have one more flavor. I'll be right back. And wheeling in here, I don't know. This is mystery wood. This is some sort of conifer. I don't remember. I don't remember when I processed it. I don't remember where it came from. I just know that where the wood is stacked, I need to get it empty so I can reload it with wood as soon as possible. So I just put in some cottonwood, put in some alder. Let's get some noble fir up in here. Just get a good amount here. Then we got some Douglas fir, the good stuff. I tested the outside of all this wood before. It is at average of 15%. So I think we are good to go to there. Yeah, so just making some bags right here, because this is a 1 cubic foot jig. The bagger machine here, the device, not machine, device, tool, whatever you want to call it, from Wolf Ridge. And so I've been like jam packing my 1 cubic foot bags full. Well, that's adding to the wood. So I'm just adding like one more piece, and then that way I can take the drawstrings of the bags and have more here, and then throw it into the lawn tractor trailer right here, and then we have a bag of wood. So on to my story. So firewood sales have been like super bad, and people are not preparing. I've been burning since like the first day, more or less, of fall. So because my wife is from Vermont, and she likes to be warm, so the wood place has been going at nighttime, not all day long, but at nighttime. Today it's been all night long, because today we finally got. Last night we had our first frost. There's ice on my windshield this morning on my truck when I went to go take my son to daycare, and so now people are starting to get ready to get firewoods. Until then, sales have been like nothing. So I had these bulk, whole bunch of bags of firewood that you saw for when I got this bagger. It's not mine, right? So this bagger has been in my wood yard for more than a month now. 2 months? I don't recall how long I've had it. It's not mine. It's on loan, and the mystery owner has yet to claim it, has yet to come pick it up. So I think that he or she forgot about it, so maybe I'll just keep it. Maybe they won't see the video today coming out, and they will just forget about that they sent me a bagger to put together for them, and they never picked it up. So, shh, don't tell them. Anyway, I digress. So I have an ad. I had an ad on OfferUp. No, Marketplace for bulk firewood bags, and I got a ping. I got a hit on him, and the guy wanted 20 bags. So no. He wanted $100 worth. So I'm like, you want like 16 bags? Because each bag is $6, right? He's like, well, whatever you can get for $100 or so. I'm like, well, You want to pick it up or delivered? So we went back and forth. We went back and forth on whether he wanted delivered or not, right? So he states that he has, or he asked me how much, or would the order fit in his Tesla, and he gave me the model, and I think to myself, like, I don't know, it's your car, like, you can put it in the back seat too, bro. I mean, that's why people buy bags of firewood, because it's cleaner than a bundle, and cleaner than a rack of wood. So maybe you just want to buy bulk bags, and then you can put them in your Tesla. Like, I don't know how it's gonna fit or not. So I sent him a picture and I said, "This is here is 19 bags, because at the time I only had 19 bags. He settled on 20 bags. Okay, so I sent him a picture and he's like, "Well, that's 19 bags." I know, I'm sending it to you as a reference of how much the volume is, to figure out, will this fit in your car, in your Tesla, bro? So, and then he's like, "Well, I don't. This is expensive. So how much money would it cost me delivered?" Well, I do the math on it, and of how far away he is, and it's an area that I really don't want to go in. There's going to be traffic, so I give him a rate. I say it's going to cost you $50 for delivery, okay, and 20 bags of firewood here is going to be 120. And so he's like, "Well, can I get a discount because I'm buying in bulk?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, not gonna happen." Some people may offer discounts on their wood if they buy in bulk. I do not. The price, it is what it is. So I ask, do you want more cost-effective options? He's like, "Yes, please." Because, sorry, let me backtrack. I asked him if he wants a display case, or does he have a way to display the wood? Because when I asked him for a landmark to where he was, he gave me the address of like a mini mart, like a small little gas station type thing. So I was assuming, because the ad said bulk wood sales, and he's trying to haggle with me on the price, that he wants to resell the wood. So that's my assumption, and I thought that was fair. Well, come to find out, he wants to burn the wood at his house. That's fair. That's fine. Okay, great. So then I figured out that, well, buying 20 bags of firewood is not a very cost-effective way to heat your home, right? So I say, "Well, do you want more cost-effective ways?" He's like, "Yes, please, great." So then I send them links of me selling a tote worth of cedar chunks for $90, and then I send him a link to my ad of a tote of shorty cuts of softwood for $120, and then he wanted 2 totes of cedar chunks. Great, sounds good. Well, to do that, I need to get a trailer, and for me, if I'm going to haul a trailer, I'm going to charge a little bit extra, because I can do it. It's just a pain in the butt, okay? And it's not my trailer, so if anything breaks, I need to make sure that I can pay for it. So I gave him the price. He's like, "Well, that doesn't add up." I'm like, "Well, I had to charge a little bit more because you want 2 totes, and I'm telling you that I need to, for me to do that, I need to bring a trailer, and that's going to cost a little extra." And then, so that's so fun. 2 totes of cedar, put one in my truck, I put one in my trailer, okay? And then he wants it stacked. And I'm like, "Well, the cedar chunks don't stack very well, so here's my price to stack per tote." And I think I gave him like $35 a tote, or no, I think it was like 25 a tote, which you may state that is an unfair number, but if I don't want to do something, you're gonna have to pay for me to do it. Like, I really don't want to stack. I want to unload and get out of Dodge, right? Because I have other things to do, so you're gonna pay me for my time, type thing. So, anyways, I need to get some more noble fur. I'll be right back. It's kind of tough to judge sometimes how much you're gonna need of each wood. So where was I in my story? I was talking to you about him wanting it stacked. So then after I gave him a price of stacking, then he went back to the bags, and then he wanted to get the bags. He wanted to come and pick them up. I'm like, okay, I mean, just let me know, and I'll get them ready for you. And then he's like, you know what? let's have you delivered. And I'm like, okay, fine. So then I didn't talk to him, but I could tell the guy was like one of those that wants to haggle over everything, and that could all be like a cultural thing too. But a lot of times people would like to haggle on marketplace or offer up of anything. But for me, there's no haggling on firewood. I put in the work. I got the wood. It is what it is. You're gonna pay me what I am charging, and if you don't, then you're not gonna get my wood. You're just not gonna get my wood. We can maybe barter, but a lot of times firewood, you buy it with money, currency, cash, and cash is king. So that's what I was going for, and you all know that. Those of you who sell firewood, like, you get it, right? So that's the pending sale. 20 bags of firewood. I had 19, so I need to make one more. So in order to deliver it and make sure that's all there, like, you see me load up the truck with bulk bags of firewood before and kindling. So I put a tote in the back of my truck, and then and then up here it was pouring. It was gross. It was gray. It was wet. It was not a good day for firewood, but he needed firewood. So I load up the truck of the bags. I put a tarp down. I did not film this, by the way, because I don't think that you really cared. But I think maybe you wanted to hear the story of the whole thing, of how it all went about it. So I put a tarp from front to back of the truck inside the tote, and then I put the bags inside. I count them. I make one more. There's 20 bags, rock and roll. I take a picture of the wood. I send them to the customer. He says, sound good. I give him ATA. He says, sound good. And then I get there, and then I hit traffic. So it's a bummer. And you really can't account. I mean, you're like, for me, I'm charging per mile, not necessarily time for how long it takes to get there. So I think because of traffic, it added like 4 minutes to my commute. Not that big a deal. But it was at the next county over. I'm not complaining about selling wood. It's a story about firewood sales, right? So I get there, I say I'm here, and he comes out, and he's like, wait, I need you to move my, I need to move my car real quick, and then I want you to back your truck up here, and then offload here. I'm like, in my head, wouldn't you have moved your car? Like, you knew my ETA. I gave you the time. Wouldn't you have moved your car prior to the thing? So I'm like, crap. So this guy's he's gonna try to screw me. He tried to have me drop the wood and not pay me. So that's in my head. The whole time I'm driving, and then I get there, he's one of those guys that is gonna want to try to screw me over. So I'm like, I'm cautious, and I'm like, I'm ready to like argue, not throw down, just like, I don't want to get into a battle. So hang on, I need to get more alder. All right, so it doesn't seem like coming off as like I'm complaining. It's a story. I think it's interesting. But yeah, so I pull back down the driveway, and then he moves his vehicle to the other side, and I back up. So it's one of those like properties that the house is on a hill. So like the pitch of the driveway is like this. It's not a very fun hill to be on. So I had the wood in my truck, in my bed, my truck, and it's not a big load, and my truck can do it. But just to make sure it don't burn out, I put it in four high, so I can make sure I get up the hill. And then he says, the wood goes here. Here's the money, and I count it real quick make sure that it's gonna be the correct amount, the amount that we agreed on, X amount per bag, and then the fee for delivery, make sure it's all there. I count it as good, and then he literally just takes a bag from my truck and goes inside. So he's like, because he said that he had no more wood, and that I get, but he didn't like check the amount of wood that I had. Didn't really wait for me to confirm that he paid me the amount of money. He just like took a bag and pieced out. Like he was like, I joked with him that he was out of wood, and because his rack was empty, was out of wood, and he wanted to burn right now apparently. So, and that's what he did. He took a bag. He took one bag of wood with him and pointed where the wood goes and went inside his house. Didn't help me unload, didn't confirm how many bags there was, just got the bags and pieced out. So it's not like he was required, but me putting it in the rack is kind of by definition stacking. So what I did was basically take the bags and do a little swing job and have them swing into the rack that he had, and that was that. And then I went back and put them in. I mean, stacking it would have been an extra like $5 or what it is, because it's pretty simple with bags. But I don't like the assumption that it was okay for him to leaving me to unload the bags. Like, me unloading bags would be me taking them, putting them on my tailgate, and having the person take them from the tailgate and putting them in a cart or wheelbarrow, or putting them in their rack. Maybe it's like a known assumption that that's the case. Maybe the cultural thing. I don't know. I'm not like, it's not a big deal. It took me like 2 minutes to do whatever it is. So I unloaded my truck. What I did do is I sent him a picture of the wood in his rack, so he knew that it was done and not me driving away with his money, which he did pay me in full, in cash, so that was good. Or if not, I would have knocked on the door and demanded more, or just driven away with the wood and just given him one bag of wood for free. Or just a discount or whatever. Yeah, you get it. So the wood was accounted for, the money was accounted for, and it was just an interesting interaction. He didn't respond right away to when I sent him a picture of the wood in his rack. He said thank you, and to let him know of more cost-effective options in the future, which meant that he was appreciative of the wood and he wanted more from me. But I was confused by his comment though, because I already gave him cost-effective options. Than buying bags to buy a tote worth of wood. And if you want it stacked, you're gonna pay for it. That's what it is. However much you charge for like face cord or whatever that is. Yeah. But in hindsight, I'm really glad that I didn't bring the trailer, because he said, yeah, bring the trailer down, you can park right next to the rack. Well, parking next to the rack, this is at the steep incline pitch of a driveway, and backing that up with the trailer that I have access to would have been a pain in the butt. So I'm glad I didn't do it. Anyway, that's the story of 20 bags of firewood sold. I thought it was interesting, just want to share with you. So what I'm doing now, well, I just got done making 6 bundles for the firewood stand, because right before I was going to film this episode and bag some bags for you all, a customer's wife came out, or I guess a customer came out and bought and was wanting some bags. Her husband, who usually buys the firewood, is out of town at the moment, and she was cold. The first frost hit, like I mentioned, and so she wants some wood. So she bought all the bags of firewood that I had at the firewood stand. So I don't like leaving the firewood stand looking empty. Granted, I have done that before because I didn't have any wood, but I don't want people driving by and seeing the firewood stand empty and be like, oh, he doesn't have any wood today. I'll just go down to the store. If you have a firewood stand, never leave it empty. Always be watching it. Always make sure that it has wood in it. Don't leave it empty. That's bad. You never know who's going to drive by. You never know who's going to stop by. Because at least in my firewood stand, people don't need to give me notice. It's appreciative when they do give me notice, but it's not required because it's open 24/7. Anyway, so I made 6 bags for the firewood stand. I think we made 7. Anyway, and now I'm making more because after the first 20 bag sale, I got another hit for another 20 bags of firewood. And so this one I had to confirm, just because I'm curious, is this going to be resold or just for personal use? And the guy, I think he said LOL, he chuckled, and he said this is for personal use. That he has bought cords before in the past and has literally not burned through it all. So he had leftover wood. It was a big mess. The wood got wet again. Whatever. So he just wanted to buy a small amount and have it easier to transfer and move around. And the bag should do just fine for him. So I said that's totally fine. I'm busy at the moment, and I'll get back to you. So I had time today wanting to get this done. It's a sunny, brisk day today. Again, remember, I mentioned that we had frost in the windshield this morning, and people are starting to understand that fall is here, cold's here. Let's stay warm, type thing. So I am in the process currently. These bundles right here, these bags, for a new customer wanting 20 bags again, but he lives in the next town over from me apparently, and is willing to come pick it up, which is fine by me. With my totes, I require things to be delivered. It just adds a little bit more money in my pocket, and it keeps people out of my wood yard, type thing. So that needs to work out. But this sale, I think it was fine. Just have them come, get the wood, rock and roll, easy peasy. So I got a portion, maybe half the bag's done, but I wanted to share with you an interesting tale of firewood sales. Each sale is different. Each customer is different. It's not good or bad. Knock on wood, no thefts yet, but that could change in any minute. I hope that if you sell firewood, that you have a good fire season and that your wood yard is stocked and you're ready to rock and roll to sell that wood and make that money. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Remember, life is short to be a prick, so be kind to one another. Rock and roll. Stay safe. Keep cutting. Cheers. Come on. There's a knot right here in this noble fur I don't want on there. I'm not going to be able to break this. There we go.